Hi, it's Walter Burns from Keller Williams City Life Realty and livingonthehudson.com for this week's Living on the Hudson weekly recap. No new news articles over the past week regarding Hudson County real estate. However, linked down below, you'll find the market snapshot discussing inventory levels, how many available properties are currently for sale in the market, as well as the absorption rate, the pace at which each area is selling, how many months of supply. As I mentioned in the past, when you're closer to 1 month of supply, you're leaning towards a stronger seller's market. When you're usually above 6 months of supply, you're moving more into a buyer market territory. Most of the area is in seller market territory. West New York has about 6 months of supply right now. And Guttenberg had a higher level. It did come down. So most of the county is in strong seller market territory, especially Hoboken that has only 50 units for sale, and they're selling about 50 a month. So they're pacing at 1 month supply, meaning that if nothing new came on the market, they would deplete the supply in 1 month. Also on this document, you'll see sales history going back to 2004. So that is linked down below on YouTube. It updates every week for you to download. Taking a look at the market over the past week, there have been 108 properties that have offers accepted on them that have gone under contract. Last week, it was 90. So we are up significantly from last week. These properties had an average list price of $851,000 and a median list price of $735,000. Last week, it was $857,000 for the average and $624,000 for the median. So average about the same. Median this week up a little bit. Days on market, 55 days was the average. So that's list date, the time it came on the market, to the time that it went under contract. So 55 days was the average, 25 days is the median. Last week it was 49 for the average and 20 for the median. So days on market up a little bit. The cold weather, I think, may have delayed the market a little bit over the past weekend. So we'll see how those numbers reflect into next week's numbers when I do the video a week from now. But yeah, so we had 108 properties go under contract. In the past week, from units that have sold, nothing closed in Hoboken in the past week that was like in a large scale building that to really report on. It was a couple smaller units in smaller buildings. But looking at some larger scale buildings in the area, 700 Grove Street in Jersey City. This building is on the border of Jersey City and Hoboken. It's right next to Zephyr Lofts on Marin Boulevard. This is a Jersey City address, but many people who live here tend to take the Hoboken path and utilize things in Hoboken more because it's really on the border of Hoboken and downtown Jersey City. But 700 Grove Street, unit 11K, a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,311 square foot unit listed for $820,000. It sold for $807,000, 37 days on the market. Also came in parking for 1 car. So this was a south-facing unit. So it looks south towards downtown Jersey City. Oh, I'm sorry. This was an east-facing unit. So we're looking at Midtown Manhattan here. My mistake. South facing. This is downtown Jersey City. So the skyline threw me off for a second. But yeah, south facing 2-bedroom unit. Looking into downtown Jersey City. The building has a 24-hour concierge doorman. They have a shuttle to and from Hoboken Pat Station, as well as an on-site fitness center and a residence lounge. It was built around 2006 by Toll Brothers. So this is one of Toll's first buildings in the area. They had done a building in Hoboken called the Sky Club before this. And this is like their next project after that. And this is actually a 1-bedroom plus den layout. So the second bedroom is right here. And this does not have a window. It does have a bathroom, which is right to the left. And these French doors lead into it. But it's really a 1-bedroom plus den. 700 Grove steel and concrete building. Over 200 units in the development, made up of mostly 1-bedroom plus den, which is this layout, and also 2-bedroom, 2-bath units. There's also a handful of 1-bedroom and studio layouts. And this 1-bedroom plus den sold for $807,000 over at 700 Grove. Moving into downtown Jersey City at the Sugar House, 174 Washington Street, unit 2L. This was a 2-bed, 2-bath, 2,010 square foot loft unit over at the Sugar House in the Paul's Hook section. of downtown Jersey City. List price $2,675,000, and it sold for full price $2,675,000. Looks like this was a corner unit looking south. Sugar House was built in the early 2000s. It was originally a sugar factory that was converted into loft condos. There's around 55 or so units in the building. It is a concierge building, 24-hour concierge. You have a fitness center on site as well and garage parking. And it's very close to the light rail, Exchange Place Path, and ferry to New York. And this 2-bedroom loft at the Sugar House sold for $2,675,000 on the market 2 weeks. Also in downtown Jersey City, 88 Morgan Street. This at one point was the largest high-rise in downtown Jersey City, 56 stories tall, but has since been surpassed by 99 Hudson and some other buildings in the area. Here you have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath on the 41st floor, unit 4105. 1,486 square feet, list price $1,485,000, and it sold for $1,445,000. 35 days in the market. It looks like it was a cash purchase. 88 Morgan, built around 2006. This is an east-facing unit, so it looks east towards Manhattan. So you do have a view of New York City through here. This building that you see to the left is a rental building that 88 Morgan was originally going to be 2 condominium towers. The west tower was built first, and then the financial crisis happened, and then the lot that this tower sits on was eventually sold to another developer who built a rental building on it. But the 2 buildings are completely separate. They don't share any amenities. They don't share, I believe they just share the part of the parking deck, is my understanding. But it's a separate building in entirety. It's a rental building. But here, 88 Morgan condominium building, about 440 units in the building, made up of studio, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom layouts. Amenity-driven building. You have a 24-hour concierge. You have an outdoor pool, over 40,000 square feet of inside and outside amenities. You have a large fitness center, as I mentioned, outdoor pool with cabanas. There's an indoor hot tub area, a large fitness center, as I mentioned. We have a game room. There's a business center and a residence lounge, children's play area. So it's an amenity-driven building. Parking available to rent on site on a monthly basis as well. And you're close to Exchange Place Path and Grove Street Path. And it's like 1 block from the new Whole Foods that they built a few years ago in downtown Jersey City. So it's a very convenient building. And here you have a 2-bedroom east-facing selling for $1,445,000 over at 88 Morgan. And all these buildings I'm discussing will be linked down below here on YouTube from my website, livingonthehudson.com, where you can check out are the units that may be available for sale or that have recently sold in the buildings. Over in North Bergen, so moving further north into North Bergen on River Road, you have Rock Harbor, which was built in 1986. It's a townhome community here on the Hudson, and it's 14A Riverview Circles, the address. The unit's 14A in North Bergen. The list price was $975,000, and it sold for full price $975,000 on the market 41 days. In the community, there is it's gated access here. You also have guest parking on the side. The units themselves do come with parking garages for 2 cars. So you do have 2-car parking down below. And then some of them have city views, some do not. Let's take a look at this one. Looks like this is a non-view, city view property looking into the interior courtyard of the building. It has a little bit of a view. Oh, it does have a view. So it does see Midtown Manhattan. These units tend to be larger. Many of them are over 1,900 square feet. There's several different layouts in the complex. And as I mentioned, built in the mid-'80s. So some of the units have been going through renovations that owners have been buying. They've been renovating the units out. So if you're looking for space, the Rock Harbor could be a good option for square footage. But this has sold 1,600 square feet for $975,000 over at Rock Harbor. In Weehawken, up at Gregory Commons, 518 Gregory Avenue. In Weehawken, unit B201, you have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 700 square foot unit. List price was $405. It sold for full price, $405,000, 96 days on the market. Gregory Commons, former factory. It's 3 separate buildings on Gregory Avenue. The middle building does have a concierge, 24-hour concierge, which services the entire community. You have an indoor pool as well as a fitness center in one of the buildings that everybody has access to. And most of the people park, there's some limited on-site parking, but across the street, the association owns a large parking garage, which where you could park your vehicle. So most of the units do come with parking. I don't have interior photos of this property, but this 1-bedroom sold for $405,000 over at Gregory Commons in Weehawken. It also came with parking for 1 car. And finally, in the Port Imperial section of West New York, over at Grandview number 2, 20 Avenue at Port Imperial, unit 315. This was a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,821 square foot unit. List price was $1,138,000. It sold for $1,130,000, 8 days on the market. Also came with parking for 1 car. So Grandview, the Grandview buildings, which is Grandview number 1, which is here to the right, Grandview number 2 on the left side, which is where this property sold, developed by K. of Nanian in the mid-2000s, around 2006 or so. And both buildings are very similar. They're, for lack of a better term, a U-shaped courtyard building with a pool in the middle. Basically, the buildings are comprised mostly of 1-bedroom, 1-bedroom plus den, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom layouts. This was a 3-bedroom that sold, and it looks like this was a western-facing 3-bedroom, meaning it looked west towards River Road, which is over here. And it looks like this unit has had some upgrades to it, especially in the kitchen. Building has a 24-hour concierge doorman, outdoor pool. They have a fitness center, game room, business center, residence lounge area. So it is an amenity-driven building. You're very close to shopping. Right across the street, you have Acme Supermarket, Starbucks, and ferry to New York, not far from the property, over in Weehawken, and the bus is right across the street on River Road to New York. So very convenient to get to New York City from this location. And this unit has sold over at Grandview 2 for $1,130,000, 3-bed, 2-bath. All the buildings I discussed will be linked down below here on YouTube, along with this week's market snapshot. If you have any questions about the Hudson County real estate market, you can reach out to me anytime at walter@livingonthehudson.com or at 347-448-3766. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.